Price gouging in the territory has affected the pockets of residents during the aftermath of Hurricanes Irma and Maria. DLCA has responded to the public outcry of post-hurricane gouging with a series of investigations.
The statute requires that once the governor declares a state of emergency with an impending storm, that I am authorized to then institute a price freeze. That price freeze is important because that price freeze dictates, as it says, exactly what prices are in effect throughout that state of emergency. But even prior to the state of emergency, knowing that we are a hurricane-prone area, the statute contemplates that during the hurricane season, which is June 1st to November 30th, every first of the month, June 1st, July 1st, August 1st, and so on, that all businesses that sell hurricane-type commodities and or services provide to this department a list of the prices of those goods or services the first of each month during the hurricane season. It stands to reason that a lot of businesses did not submit their price listings. What this department intends to do, as per the law provides that when you don't submit that price listing, it's $200 fine. Now, we're interpreting the statute to say it's $200 fine per day. For each day you didn't submit that price listing, June 1st, you don't submit it. June 2nd, we're treating the law as contemplating a continuing violation because we never know when the hurricane is going to hit. And so the first course of action we're taking, and this is being implemented right now, is that we're compiling a list of all those businesses that did not provide the hurricane listings. And we're going to be sending out some notices of violation, NOVs we call them, hitting those businesses with fines of $200 a day for each day they did not submit that hurricane listing. Now, between June 1st and November 30th, you can imagine that sum could be, there can be a big sum. So that's one level that we're enforcing at, because they got to know that the law requires that. And it's important because once the price freeze is in effect, the way I know where the prices are frozen is based on what you submitted. If you submit nothing, I know nothing, and then you're free to charge the prices you want to. There's another level at which those persons who did submit price freezes went ahead and changed prices anyway. The law requires that once the price freeze is in effect, if you as a business need to change prices, and businesses do change prices as their supplies, the cost of their supplies increase, then you submit a petition to this office requesting a price revision. What we do is that we look at your submission and we ask that you submit to us not only what you want to send a price to, but any justification for that price increase. We want to know what you bought it at and what your attendant costs are to see whether or not the price you want to take it from to the price you want to take it to is justified by your costs. Right? Many of those businesses did not petition for price increases. And for each item that they sold that was not okayed for a price increase, it'll be another $200 fine. Gas stations and ice. That's another level at which we're going after them. According to the law, anytime a consumer buys an item or a service, they must be given a receipt. Ice was being sold at varying prices. Maybe justified in some cases because they were bringing in some bigger bags of ice, and you know that the ice plants here were destroyed, so they had to import ice. Fine, it's no problem. That's what business does. When they see opportunity, they make some money. But it becomes gouging when, number one, you're charging an unreasonable price vis-a-vis what it costs for you to bring it in. But more pointedly, as to what I'm speaking of, you're supposed to provide a receipt. And you don't provide a receipt, then I don't have evidence of what you've been charging. When somebody comes to me and says, hey, they didn't provide me a receipt, they charged me a bag of ice for $5, which is usually $125. That evidence of the receipt, which is important, is not provided. So the statute allows me to charge a fine of $200 per item sold when you don't provide a receipt. So that's another level that we're going after. Now, how do we find out how much ice they sold? We simply subpoena the records. Provide to us the records of how much ice you brought in and how much ice you sold. Did you provide receipts? No. I can hit you $200 per item, per bag of ice. That's a lot. On that level, those cases that we refer to court are few and far between, because a lot of people, despite my asking, have not come forward with receipts. Quite frankly, people probably throw away the receipt and you can't find it. So we have about 5 cases on that level. With respect to the level that we were speaking about, where people didn't submit their listings, the numbers, we're talking about in the hundreds. Territory-wide, yeah. When we refer something to court, that's a process that's out of our hands as this department. But on the other levels that I'm speaking of, we're talking about administrative process. And the administrative process takes time. We got to gather evidence. We got to compile a list of businesses that did submit and didn't submit. It takes a little time. So while the season, while all the gouging that took place may have tapered off to some degree, I don't want people to think that this office has now swept that under the rug and is not going to be taking action. We're certainly going to be taking action. We're going to publicize it. People are going to know. Now, you can't please everybody, but I'm going to do my best to administer the law to the best of my ability.